and welcome to the Cymru Nerd Cave for another episode of toy goodness, shall we say. There we go. As you can tell from the title, which should be down there, we're looking at something we haven't looked at on the channel in a little while, or indeed on this channel at all ever, and that's actually going to be Transformers. And this is something that I picked up a little while ago and thought, you know what, I should really do a video of these guys because they bring me joy, much happiness, and yeah, I should share that happiness with you guys. So we are going to be having a look at today the exclusive Toys R Us box set of 3 brilliant toys from the 1980s that have been lovingly reissued by Hasbro. It is a Platinum edition. We know that because it says Platinum edition at the bottom there in nice purple lettering, of 3 of the Conehead Seekers from the 1980s. You have Dirge, you have Thrust, and you have finally Ramjet. As a kid, just in case you're interested, I had this guy. I had Dirge, and we'll go to him in a second. My friend Robert had Thrust. Again, we'll come to that in a second. I have never known anybody own a Ramjet as a kid. I don't know if it was just unavailable in Britain, but yeah, I know very few people who actually have that toy. But they are just pictorial representations. If you lift up the little sleeve there, which is very nice, and I do like that a lot, you will see inside. You can also see me in the camera. Hello! You can see inside Dirge, you can see Ramjet, and you can see Thrust. They really missed the trick there. They should have had Thrust there, Ramjet there, but it doesn't matter because it looks very, very nice and very, very 80s inside. So we shall be back in but a second, and I'm going to have a closer look at all these 3 guys. Back in a moment. Hello and welcome back. One thing the box gave me was a nice new posh Transformers backdrop there with Unicron and Megatron and Megatron again and Optimus Prime and lots of G1 nice things, including the Matrix there. Look, you can see the Matrix. Anyway, let's move on to some Conehead Seekers, shall we? So let's have a look at Dirge first, because he was the one that I had as a kid. I remember I got him from a shop in Petergate in York, which was very, very cool. And yeah, look at him shine. Look at him shine. Look at him shining. Yes, enough with the Mr. Susan impressions, I think. But yeah, this is Dirge. The body of Dirge, as in this thing. Yeah, okay. This thing is quite obviously from the Seeker mould from 1984. The Starscream, Skywarp and Thundercracker affair. But he has 2 notable, massive, great big differences in the shape of his wings. They are different, based on a real life plane, though bugger me if I can remember what it is, but it is based on a real life plane, French one I think, actually, if memory serves. But yeah, other than that, he's exactly the same, which I don't think is too bad an addition. I think it was quite a nice thing to do, to say, you know what, let's just do different wings, so let's do that, you know. So they did, and it worked out really well. I really like the look of this guy. I really like the look of Dirge. It sort of seems, I don't know, more dangerous than the other planes. The other, you know, normal, I think they're F-15s, aren't they? They're F-15s or F-14s. I don't write in and complain. I'm not a plane expert. All I know is I likes the look of them. But Hasbro's done quite a good representation of this again by reissuing it. They've reissued them a few times, the Seekers. I don't think they've reissued the Coneheads in quite a while though, so it is nice to see them in this Platinum set. He of course does come with a rub sign, which it should work. Let's hope it does work. Yeah, looks like. Fun fact, as kids we always thought they were just a fun addition to the Transformers that we bought as kids. They were actually to show that they weren't knockoffs. Knockoffs couldn't have them. I think knockoffs eventually did get them, the rub signs, but that was supposedly to show that they were real Transformers and that they weren't knockoffs. One thing Hasbro has done is not put the stickers on these straight away. So if you buy this set, you actually do get to put the stickers on yourself, which I think is great, which is lovely. I really like that fact that you can. Visible robot head, obviously. Come on, guys. I do see people moaning about that on the toys of this age, and I'm thinking, to be fair, it's 31 years old. I mean, these may be reissues, but it's still 31 years old. So I think, you know, let's give them a free pass on that one. But otherwise, essentially the same Seeker mould that we have seen over and over again, with the wheel that comes off. You can take it off. It's very tight. It's very tight. And as always, if you're a kid of the 80s, you will always take that and you will put that in there, because that's where the wheel goes and it gets stored in very, very nicely. Let's transform Dirge, shall we? Now, Dirge joined the show in season 2 with the group that comprised of Blitzwing and everybody else that came along in season 2 of the Decepticons. So that's Blitzwing, that would be the other triple changes as well, and that would be the other Seeker Coneheads that came along. So Ramjet and Thrust. Not going to take you through the steps of the transformation, by the way. Why would you do that? I mean, everybody knows by now how to transform this guy. Fists obviously come separately, so there you go on there. Now, Dirge never really did anything in the show. He was in there a little bit in season 2 and a little bit in season 3, but as with all Seekers, they never really did much after season 1, because Hasbro sort of thought, well, you know, who cares at the end of the day. So they didn't really have them in the show, which is a shame. I think they could have done a lot with Dirge. He's, you know, the fear guy, the guy that's had all, you know, the fear powers and was supposed to be able to roll his turbines to scare the crap out of people. And plus his wings look pretty cool because they look a bit like a cloak, unlike the other Seekers. And you can do this, you can have his wings look like that. Some instruction manuals did say to do that, and you did see some publicity shots and stuff, toy shots, where he would have done exactly that. But no, really, they should be like that. Like so. Whoops! He says, knocking over his set as he does. Seriously? Seriously? Okay. The other thing that he would do sometimes, and that you would see in the shots, is that he would have one of these up like so. I don't know why they always did that with Seekers. But no, he's supposed to have them both down there so he can point them. And also you would see him constantly like that, and then most publicity toy box art would have him like that. But now in the show, Flora O'Deary said, let's do that to differentiate them from the other Seekers that we already know. So that's what they did, and it sort of stuck. And like I say, it's a shame Dirge didn't get more to do, really, because he's pretty cool. Obviously, the only articulation he has is his arms go up and down. But it's G1 Toys. What on earth do you expect? I think he looks cool. I think he looks great. And I really do like Dirge a lot. So, cool. We shall move on to Thrust. Again, Thrust based on a real design. I think it's a German plane he's designed on. I could be wrong. Don't write in. But he, again, looks really cool. I do like his wings. His wings are very, very cool indeed. Look at that. I don't know why. I just think that looks cool. It's like a vertical takeoff and landing plane. And my friend Rob Kelly had him as a kid. I really was always very jealous because I wanted him, because he looks very cool, and I like his maroon colour as well. I think that looks really, really cool, is the maroon colour. And again, the rub sign you've got the stickers, you've got the smoky cabin there. Smoky cabin. Now, one thing that will differ is that you do get 2 sets of little add-ons there for his Seeker missile holders, guns, whatever you want to call them. You get these little bombs, like cluster bombs, or you get the null rays attachments. I don't want the null ray attachments on Thrust. I always think he looks better with that, because it just differentiates him again. Differentiates him from the other Seekers. So again, really cool colours on this guy. Really nice additions of the back fins there. That's something different. And the wings, again, very, very, very cool. I do like Thrust a lot. So let's transform Thrust, shall we? We'll take his wings off, and as always, take the wheel off. Pop it in his little cockpit there. Cabin. Seriously, Len, what are you on about? And there you go in there. And again, not going to tell you how to transform him, but if you don't know by now, you're probably not a Transformers fan, so it's fine. Again, Thrust, a little bit more to do than Dirge, but not much. Again, they did appear in season 3, did the Coneheads, because the Seekers at that point pretty much either dead or turned into Insecticons. Mileage varies on that one. But again, not much to do in season 3, mostly season 2. And then, you know, then again, they would just end up being sort of generic goons. And that's a shame, because, again, I think they could have done more. They did try in the comics to do a bit more with them, but not too much, if I'm being honest. Again, he goes in at the back there. It's like a little sort of cloak. You can have it the other way up as well, but I think general convention states that you don't. And of course his cluster bomb holders, cluster bomb firers, whatever you want to call them, go in each arm like so. And there we have thrust. Again, really cool toy. I really like the look of thrust as well. He looks good on a shelf full of G1. And again, if you do want to see what he looks like without the cone head, that's what people will have had him like in the 80s until they realised, oh no, it goes up like that. And you know, again, so quintessentially 80, so quintessentially Hasbro. And he's even got a little face going on. I do like the hilarious stickers that you do get for the eyes. They look alright from a distance, but when you put them up front there, it doesn't look great. Well, there you go. That's what you get. That's what they look like in the 80s. That's what he will look like on a shelf. So there you go. Brilliant. There's thrust. Finally, in this set, you have Ramjet. Again, he was the most prominent one, I think. For reasons best known to Hasbro, really. I think it's mainly because they just thought he looked so different that they thought, yeah, sod it, let's just go with him. Let's promote him more than the other two, maybe. I don't know. Maybe Dirge was too much like Thundercracker. So anyway, Ramjet seems to have been the guy, because he was the guy in Decepticon Raider in King Arthur's Court, which is a supremely silly show, but I do like it a lot. It is a fun little episode, and other things as well. He was the one whose powers meant that he would crash into things. Apparently he has a hardened tip, snigger, that means he can smash into things and break them and not break himself, although he used to get crumpled to crap every time on the show. He was also the guy who prompted Megatron to say, "I've got morons on my team," which was very cool. Perhaps he said it a bit less like Professor Farnsworth from Futurama. I don't know. But anyway, Ramjet, yeah, very nice. I love the little setup he's got at the back there. So cool with the engines on the wings there. And really nice. Just, it looks nice, and the colours on the guy. It's very rare you see completely white Transformers. And I think it's a shame, because they do look nice when they're with colours like this. And it's so quintessentially Decepticon, the way that he looks. Brilliant stuff. But anyway, let's transform Ramjet into his Roboto mode. There you go. Oops. Let's get down here. That's the hardest bit of the whole bloody thing. Take off his wings, obviously. And put his feeties down. But yeah, Ramjet in quite a few episodes of Season 2. Didn't really pop up after Season 2. Maybe he died in the movie, we don't know. Lots of people did, including Red Alert Becca. Again, put his little handies on. I mean, it's pretty much unthinkable now that you would do this. That you would have part-forming bits to put on. But that's just the way it was. Remember that these toys are, number one, 31 years old in this iteration. And in the actual original iteration, sort of late 70s, early 80s. So it's not surprising. This bit kind of annoys me. You have to take that out, so you form it up, and then these little things going here. You don't have to, but it's the best way to do it, I find. Take his wings apart and put his bits on there like so. You can then add his cloak, his wing cloak, which looks more like a cloak than either of the other two, in fact. So it goes like that, and then the last little bit goes on like so. So it's really nice. And then his massive missile launchers. He's got big missile launchers, as this dude. Bloody huge. And again on his arm. And yeah, Hasbro's done a good job of tightening these molds up as well. They are pretty. They do stay together. When they've released things like this in the past, they sort of fallen to bits and not looked great. But these look absolutely fine. So here you go. Here you have Ramjet in all his glory. He does look so good. I really do like how he looks. And the stickers again make it. Obviously, they're stickers from the 80s that have been sort of put into modern times, and it just looks so nice. But yeah, there you go. You've got Ramjet. Let's see if I can do this. You've got thrust at the back there, and there you've got Dirge as well. Really worth a punt, I think, these three. If you're any kind of G1 fan, you're going to want these guys in your collection. They look so good on a shelf together. I really hope at some point they release the original Seekers again as well, because that would be so cool. You can get the Insecticons as well, and Blaster and Perceptor, and also Tripticon, but I plumped for these guys because I wanted to go proper old school 80s and remind myself of what it was like to go to school. Brilliant stuff. Please do get them. You can get them for Toys R Us. That's it for another Cymru Nerd Cave, but I shall be back very soon with another review of something or other. I'm also part of the Hit Start Network. If you look in the description, you'll find all the details if you want to join the Hit Start Network. Other than that, have a great rest of the day, guys. Have a brilliant week, and I shall see you again very, very soon. Dirge says bye-bye. Bye-bye.